All right, we're doing a little Q&A. I put a post on Instagram saying, ask me anything, any of your questions, I'm gonna answer them. So we're gonna do some rapid fire, and then we're gonna ride a little bit as well. And then we'll do some while we're out riding, and maybe on the chair, and then maybe when we're driving back. Yeah, that's the plan today. I'm not supposed to be up here. My physio said that I should be taking another week and a half off, but I'm feeling good enough. For my last video, I redid my adductor, where I just hiked the whole day. Later on that day, all the pain started happening again, and yeah, it's been crappy. But anyway, I'm just gonna do a rapid fire, you know. Thoughts on coming to Mount Huts? The plan is to come to Mount Hut in a week or so, if possible. Coming to Big Bear this season in the States. Would love to show you around. I have no plans to go to Big Bear this year, unfortunately. I do love Big Bear though, because I lived there actually back in 2011 to like 2013, like back in the prime Sunday in the park, insane park. It was like the park to be at in the United States, man. It was so sick. Clayton Shoemaker was running the park there, who also did the X Games for a while. Favorite ski resort? Probably the Remarkables. Do you ever go to Cardrona? I mean, I haven't been in a few years, but that's because I just don't have a pass there. But yeah, I have it in my schedule to go, I think in 2 weeks time or next week or something. I'm trying to. I'm working on it. GoPro settings. I think the GoPro is just stock settings, I think. I'm not too sure. I did make a post on my filming setup. It's on my Patreon for anyone. It's free. Just gotta go in and put your email in. It should have like the most asked questions are on there. So yeah, all the information's on my Patreon. What do you think of Taroa Ski Resort? I've never been. What got you into snowboarding, and how do you motivate yourself doing so? I got into snowboarding when I was in like, I want to say like 7th grade or something. My dad had bought my brother and I these like Kmart, Walmart plastic, like yellow plastic tie-dye boards where you like slip your feet into these little binding straps, and it had no edges on it, and you would just like, we would just take the board across the street to the park across the street and just go straight down it and build a little jump at the end, and just loved it after that, man. Just begged my dad for a board because we learned about that. Once I learned that we had Buck Hill right next to our house, we just begged our parents for a board and got a board. And I remember the first day we went riding, dude, they had a few boxes, little ride-on boxes set up, and first day I hit a C box. How do you motivate yourself? I just love it. I don't know. When did you start snowboarding? Yeah, 7th grade, I think. Best mountains to snowboard at in the US. My favorite is Mammoth. Vail is really sick as well. I like Copper. Palisades. I haven't been to too many. Let me get my mic, yo. Let me get my bike. Will you be boarding in the East soon? The East Coast? No, no plans. Have you ever been to Christie Mountain? No. Can you give me a snowboard for an intermediate rider who likes the park and all mountain? I would go with like a directional or a true twin shaped board, and probably with a camber profile. You should be solid. What is the best snowboard in your opinion? The snowboard that you own currently. Snowboard that you have. Okay, GoPro just died for a sec. Okay, board size. I ride a 157 wide. That's my park board. If I'm gonna ride powder, I would like a bigger board, like 160, 162. But I'm like 6 feet tall. 6'1"-ish. If you were to come to Oregon and go to Mount Hood, which resort would you be riding at? I went there recently. I went to Timberline. Where in the States do you have planned for the upcoming season and most stoked on? So the plan right now is Minnesota for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, beginning of December, and then flying back to New Zealand, because that's where I live. I live here in New Zealand. A lot of you don't know that. I live full-time in Queenstown in New Zealand. And so anytime I do a trip, to the US, it's just a short trip. Yeah, so Minnesota beginning in December. Plan is to do a Japan trip this season, middle of January for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, then fly back to New Zealand, and then hopefully another trip to the US sometime in February. But that depends on if there's any brand deals or sponsorships that come up. But that's the plan right now. That will 100% change though, because it always changes. What's the key to staying healthy and not getting injured while pushing progression? Bro, if I knew, I wouldn't be injured right now. Like, injury is just part of the game, bro. Just expect to get injured, and the only way to maybe help is if you are training in the off season with mobility work and stuff. Oh, I recommend Mobility Duo on Instagram. Check them out. They'll help you out. What's your favorite resort in New Zealand and why? Remarkables for sure. It's my home mountain. It's where I like to ride. I like the people here. Like the general clientele of this mountain are people that are kind of similar minded to me, like very like-minded. Queenstown is very traveler oriented, so there's lots of nationalities and and different world opinions and views here, and everyone's like here for the same reason, just to enjoy life, enjoy being in a different part of the world. And there's like less judgment that I found here at this resort than maybe other resorts in the US. Sometimes there's a bit of a toxic environment in the US at some resorts. So yeah, you ever come into Idaho? Maybe. How many years have you been snowboarding? I started when I was probably, if that's 13 or 14. So it's been like 20 years, but I haven't been riding for 20 years. It's been off and on. How's posting your snowboarding content made you love it more or less? Well, I already loved snowboarding before I was making videos, but now making videos, it's been cool just to like be finding and meeting people that are like really like-minded like me, and just connecting immediately on the mountain and growing the community. The community part has been probably the coolest part about making videos. Other than that, I've always loved snowboarding. I've always loved the progression. I've always loved just getting outside in the mountains and just like, you know, shooting banter with friends. I've always loved that. What keeps you going when it's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up? Oh man. That's some serious stuff, bro. Yeah, if I'm struggling, I mean, I'll be struggling, but if I'm struggling and I'm laying there, like, usually I get to the point in the thought process where I'm like, okay, if I don't get up, this is only going to be worse. So just to get out of my head, I get up and I try to do one thing at a time and just keep the day moving slowly. But yeah, sometimes life is hard and you don't, you know, I feel you. I empathize with that. I don't have any secrets. It's kind of just like you have to force yourself. I don't know. First thing you'd ever tell yourself when starting to snowboard? I'm starting out. Okay. I would say, have fun. Know you're going to fall a lot. And knowing that if you're not falling, you're doing something wrong. I want you to be falling. I want your fall counter to be very high when you're starting out, because that means you're actually trying and pushing yourself and figuring out the boundaries of you on a snowboard and how you can get down a mountain and what you can and can't do. So I want you falling a lot and being okay with that. I think there's a lot of fear in that, but if you can live by JD's motto, which is embrace the fear, then you're on the right path. You're going to do great. Try and buy everything secondhand, or try and get everything for free if you can, just to try it out. And if you do buy a board, I would get I would future-proof my first board, and I would get like a medium to stiff flexed camber true twin snowboard. That's what I would get, instead of like a beginner board that's like a flat rocker that you'll grow out of eventually and have to buy another board. Just future-proof yourself and learn on that board. The best place you snowboarded at? Oh, dude, I don't know. My favorite places are Mammoth, Highland, and Remarkables. I'm scared of toe edge and can't get myself to start doing it. Any tips? If you're scared, you gotta get into falling. You gotta start falling and see what it feels like to fall, and then get back up. If you're worried about technique, I would look up the snowboard YouTuber Malcolm Moore. He does awesome tutorials for that kind of stuff. Number one board you recommend? The board that you have. I will always say that. It's so true. I only know the board that I ride, and my board isn't even being manufactured anymore. So just whatever graphic looks good to you. That's the board I recommend. Will you come up to Palisades again this season? That's possible. I have family in Tahoe, so that's possible. Advice to get into YouTube and social media. Go into YouTube and social media with just the love of telling stories. Try to help people in one way through inspiration, knowledge, education, those things. Try to help people and be authentic to yourself, be genuine, be your normal self, and just make content about stuff that you're really passionate about. That's the best advice I can give you. Favorite trick? Right now I've been spamming the back ones on everything. So right now that's my favorite. Are you ever going to do a meet and greet? Probably not. Where did you go for your first international snowboarding trip? That was when I was living in Australia. I did like a 2-month road trip after living in Melbourne for a minute. Did a 2-month road trip up the East Coast, and we stopped at Perisher for the day. It wasn't a trip designed around snowboarding, but that was the first place I rode outside the US. Are you going to ride in Colorado? Maybe. Will you go back to Afton Alps, Minnesota? Probably not, actually. I'd rather go to Troll or Buck or Highland. Would you ever do street spots? Heck yeah, I would do street spots. Anytime I've thought about doing street spots, like there's no snow on the streets, especially in Minnesota. It's been so bad the past few years. Where's your favorite place to snowboard? Remarkables. Also, I'm not paid by Remarkables. I pay for my own season pass every year to say this. Like, I just genuinely love this mountain so much. It just has everything I would want. Awesome progression park. And then I just love the opportunities for off-piste and backcountry that they have up here. It's really sick. Any advice on switching from skiing to snowboarding? No, I've never skied, so I don't know, but just sell all your ski gear so you can't go back to skiing. Where do you want to snowboard the most? Ooh, Japan and Alaska. What snowboard do you ride? It's the Burton Freethinker 157 wide. Why are you so damn handsome? Oh, thank you, Marcel. You're so sweet. Must visit resorts next season. I don't know. Somewhere in Japan. What's the story with how you started making snowboarding content? The story, my GoPro died. So we're out here now. Also, I haven't told you guys, but I've got a new board. This board right here, it's a Burton Fish, but I designed the graphic, actually. Burton wanted me to help launch their new custom board builder site. So I got this tool on their website. You can take any shape that they offer and build your own custom graphic on it. I kept mine simple and sleek, just like a big old B there, little Burton up top. I got a ride-on jag. You get this custom sticker with a little imprint, and then they actually flew me to Vermont and I built this board, like literally. It was so cool. I'm so grateful, man. Okay, back to our Q&A. I forgot where I left off here. Oh, what's the story with how you started making snowboarding content? That's it's kind of a long story, but we do it all the time, so I don't mind telling you. That was a few years ago now. That was like around COVID time. And Kyla and I, my wife, she wasn't my wife then, but we were living in New Zealand. COVID happened. I lost my visa here. And we decided to leave the country during that time, which was really scary because my wife isn't American. She's South African. So we couldn't actually like just stay and live in the same area. We'd have to keep moving every 6 months based off of like visas and stuff. And so we went to the UK. We lived in the UK for 6 months until my visa in the UK ended. And then we moved to the United States for just 3 months because that's all Kyla could get for 3 months. And then we were like, this is really difficult having to travel and move our whole lives every couple of months during COVID and not having jobs or anything and just kind of like surviving off of the little money I was making from the hiking content I was doing before snowboarding. And so we're like, all right, well, we can get married and that way we can actually like live and work in the same place, and Kyla could apply for her green card in the US. But if you don't know, when you apply for a green card in country in the United States, you can't actually work during that time. So for that entire, I think it was like a year and a half where Kyla was waiting for her visa to come in, she couldn't work. So we decided to move in with my parents and just live in their basement in Minnesota for that time. So we could just like save some money since we only have one income. And it was winter, middle of winter in Minnesota. And I was like, well, I can't do any of my hiking content. So I was like, you know what? It'd be funny if I just took the same premise of my hiking content, like mic'd up and reconnected with my childhood passion of snowboarding, since that's where I was. I thought it'd be so funny to just like document how trash I would be trying to get back into snowboarding. And it just took off. And that was kind of the start. It was like the first video I posted got like millions of views, and then the next one and the next one. People just really connected with it. It was really cool. It was like an immediate community, man. Yeah, I mean, I did have a big hiking following at that time, but a lot of them followed me into my snowboarding stuff too, so I was super grateful for that. But that's the story about how I got into snowboarding, man, or how I got into the snowboarding content. To now say that my job is like what my childhood passion is, which I thought you couldn't make any money doing as a career unless you were a pro or whatever. Like, no, it is like truly a dream come true. and I'm blessed every single day. I really don't take it for granted, not at all. My adductor muscle is a little sore. I can feel it. Maybe I shouldn't be out here, bro. Just can't help myself, man. Especially when the mountain finally got some snow. It's been like right when I got hurt, we started getting dumped on. Oh, that looks like a fun side hit. I'm trying to take it mellow though, bro. Hey. I think I got set up at 18.0 right now. I want to get it in the park too. Okay, let's see the questions, man. What's your favorite trick on a rail? Mainly backboards. That's pretty much all I do on rails. Do you have any binding suggestions? Yo, anything from Union. I like the Forces, the Ultras, the Stratas. Those are the ones I mainly ride. I'm on, these are the Force Classics right now. I know if you're into the more like off-piste, gnarlier terrain, you should go for some like Falcors or Atlas, but I haven't tried those yet. Highly recommend Union though, because I've been riding them since they were a company, bro, back in like 2005. Big fan. Front side or back side? Front side all the way. I just wish I was better at it. What software do you edit your videos with? Final Cut. What's the audio setup? I know GoPros don't sound that good. Yeah, I use the Rode Wireless Pro. I think that's what it's called. I got it all on my Patreon page for free if you just want to go check it out. My whole setup. Are you ever going to make a ski vid? Yeah, probably one day. Why have you only done Remarkables this year and not other resorts in New Zealand? Probably like a lot of just creature of habit. Like I live right next to this mountain. I also love the park here. It's perfect for progression. And I don't like driving very far. Not to go snowboarding, you know. I don't want to spend an hour and a half in the car there and back, you know, so 3 hours driving. I'd rather just be riding that whole time. Do you prefer New Zealand over your home resort, and if so, why? Well, I'd say Remarkables is my home resort. Since I've been living here for years. But if you mean like over Buck Hill and Highland, oh yeah, I prefer it here. I just love the people here. Is skiing easier than snowboarding? That's what I've heard. I'm not sure. Snowboarding's more fun though. Can you give your opinion on snowboarding Taroa versus Whakapapa on Mount Ruapehu? I've never been to either one. Woo! Yeah. Ooh yeah. How long have you been growing your hair, man? It looks absolutely abysmal. Whoop! You wrote that with fire emojis after it as if it was like a compliment? I'm confused. I've had long hair for like 15 years. But it's shorter now. Hit it. Let's go, bro. Oh, yeah. Physio wouldn't like that. What inspired you to start your YouTube channel? I fell in love with the Casey Neistat vlogs back in the day. And that's when I was doing some travel vlogs in like Vietnam and Thailand and Indonesia and Nepal. Just love the idea of telling stories, man. How is your hair so magnificent? Oh, thank you. Where should we go? Let's do a different one. Let's go to, yeah. Got a solo curvy chair. Midwest this season, Buck. Yes, that's the plan. Would you ever come to Whistler for a few days? I'd love to see you there, bro. I'd love to go to Whistler. One day I'll get there. If you know much about skis, which pair should I get? I don't know anything, bro. Have you ever thought on coming to Australia? Yeah, I've been there. I think about it, about coming each season when I'm down in New Zealand, but creature of habit, man. I just like being close to my home resort. What are the top 5 bucket list places you want to shred? Alaska, Japan, Whistler, anywhere in Europe, Antarctica, just all the continents. What mindset do you start the day with? Oh, it's different every day, man. Sometimes I'd be struggling. I don't really think I have a mindset. I just like wake up and start doing stuff. Why did you start living in New Zealand? I was traveling a lot, and then I got a working holiday visa in Australia, and when that came to an end, I'd met my wife in Australia, and when that came to an end, we didn't want to leave each other, so we found out that both of us could get visas to New Zealand. And my older brother has been to New Zealand, my younger brother has been in New Zealand, and they said how amazing it was. So we're like, all right, you know, let's just go there. And then we just fell in love with the place. We've come and gone 3 times now, getting as many visas as we can get here, and we just love it. And Hopefully we'll get residency soon. How do you stop yourself getting paralyzed by fear? Paralyzed with fear, yo, Fred would say just like don't think about it, turn off, and just turn your board straight and just go for it. It's easier said than done. I find it's pretty difficult, but like you just gotta be willing to fall, you know? Be willing to fall, fail, or you know? But everyone's afraid just all the time. So it's sooner or later you'll figure out how to just internally like how to deal with it and how to get through it in a faster process, like get over your fear quicker, because we're all still afraid every time, but we're just getting over our fears a little bit quicker each time. For park riding, what is something that seems difficult or intimidating but isn't? Pretty much every trick that you're afraid of that's in your wheelhouse and you actually give it a full-on try, you realize that it's not that difficult. It's all in your mind, man. It's all mental, the park. Have you been to Buck Hill? I have been to Buck Hill, yeah. How do you afford to snowboard? Just sponsors, or do you have a part-time job? I do this full-time. When are you coming to Argentina? I hope ride with you once. Yeah, it'd be sick to go to Argentina. The only way I can make it out to these destinations across the world is if I have like brands or sponsors that want to help me fund it. Otherwise, I'm just happy riding my local resort. What is your main goal this season? I have like 100 goals. I don't really have a main one. I just feel like I have 100. Will you ever cut your hair? I mean, I cut it now. It's shorter. Okay, curvy lap. Man, what a day. I really want to get in there, hopefully. And oh, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna be fully healthy, man. Okay, can't think about it. At least we're out here. What do you do when you're not snowboarding? Yeah, when I'm not snowboarding, just chilling, man. I'm gonna get back into golf. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing lots of behind the scenes stuff for the social media, you know. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. Yeah, so getting back into golfing. Before I was snowboarding year round, I was doing like lots of hikes, like lots of long distance hikes. And I want to do more this summer because New Zealand has so many amazing long distance hikes and backpacking trips that you can do. And I just love it, bro. I'd like to do more of that. And then we also bought a really nice like Toyota Hiace camper van to do some camping trips with the wife. Hopefully do more of that as well. Number one spot you'd recommend boarders to travel to? Probably Mammoth. Will you ever try skiing? Maybe. Probably not. Like, what are the most important progressionary milestones to tick off before jumps? Before jumps, just a good little ollie on the ground, I'd say. Solid and control. You can just start hitting the small ones, man. As long as you can do your heel and your heel side turn and your toe side turn is in control, you should be fine to get set up for a jump. Woo! Yeah. Just riding around with a phone in my hand. Favorite color? Blue. How do I do a board slide? You just slide on your board. Talk about your board. What does that mean? I think when it comes to boards, man, it really don't matter too much. Don't get caught up in the marketing schemes. If you're into it, that's cool, but if you don't really have the time to care, don't bother. Most of the boards are made in the same manufacturer. I always believe a solid board is a directional or true twin with a camber profile. Maybe like a medium to stiff flex, and you're sitting pretty. All right, let's try the park. Ooh. We're just gonna take a park lap. Oh, okay, let's get a boardie. Let's go. Oh yeah, bro. I love this board, dude. Look at that. Oh, backboard through this. Let's go. Yo, I'm hurting my adductor, bro. I can't be doing this. I can feel it. I think we just gotta cruise. Yeah, Fizio was right, you guys. This is fun, kind of answering questions. It's actually really hard to answer while I'm riding though, and I'm like holding onto a phone. It probably looks so silly. Oh, I still have so many tricks I want to do on this. I'm so glad it's here. Dude, let's go, bro. Let's go. Ooh. This is what, dude, I love this. God, I love this. I think just to be safe, we should call it here. But it was fun answering all those questions. If you have more questions, leave them down below in the comment section, and I'll just make another video like this. Yeah, if you like the video, I can just do more of these because they're super fun. You guys can get to know me a little bit more.